Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and thank you to the team of Public Works people who have really done yeoman's work over the last week or so, along with our staff of maintenance and custodial crews at the schools. The schools have been cleared out with the amount of equipment we have on staff in the schools, and staff in the schools allows us to sort of keep ahead of things. And when the city can come in and push the snow around the big lots with the heavier equipment, we more or less have the schools ready. Yet, we've had to cancel school 7 days this year, which are a lot of days. And more importantly, I think the thing that disturbs me most is we had to cancel a day when the schools around us, Chelsea, for example, were in session. And that challenge was presented in talking to the Chelsea superintendent. They felt the area was safe enough for kids to go to school because residents had cleared walkways. And just to see that difference, and that was last Friday, I drove through Chelsea and around their schools and city, and I drove through Revere, and I noticed a glaring difference. That difference was that Chelsea residents have, especially over the past 3 years, been working in a program to make safe their city with residents and businesses championing the cause of removing the snow in front of their homes and buildings. That just wasn't the case last Friday. And as a result, the other schools in the area had school, and we did not. Now, I've lived in Revere all my life, and I'd like to think that our community is as strong and willing to work together as a team as Chelsea or Everett or Winthrop. And a vocal observance of that, visual observance of that, is when people pitch in together during a storm like this and make safe the area around their home so that passage of folks just doing normal shopping on Broadway, which last Friday was a problem, it wasn't a problem in Chelsea, and in areas near schools and any pathways down side streets. I feel our community needs to pull together and get something done in that area. If other communities around us are doing that to make children and adults safe, I don't see why we can't. If we were to call school off for safety reasons, I would likely not be able to have school the rest of the month, because it's not going to be safe unless people accept the challenge of doing something with their walkway, because children are going to be walking in the street. Calling school off until March is impossible to do. So, therefore, we have to count on ourselves and our community spirit together to work as a team, everybody out there with a shovel making safe their area. And I challenge the mayor, and I know they're doing this in the city council, to take whatever means is possible to address that problem with any type of ordinance that is possible. That's how Chelsea has come a long way with this issue, making their community safe when there's snow down. And I think it's high time that we start to have people own up to their responsibility, the fact that they have to pitch in. The kids want to go to school. They're communicating to me directly they want to go to school. We have parents that have to work and have young children that have to take time off, and they take time off and they do not get paid for those days when children have to stay home. So I personally know people that don't have 7 days pay because they had to stay home with their kids. Not that they're not willing to do that. Of course they are. But when the community could help those people keep things together by just doing the fair share in front of their own property and in front of their own business, it behooves us as a community to get together and do that. So I ask residents to try to pull together in that way and build that spirit of Revere, working and pitching in together, that I saw when I was a youngster in the city, and I saw during the blizzard of '78. And frankly, I'm willing to say it outright, I did not see it necessarily across our community over the past week. I think the city is doing all that they can with the manpower they have. We have our school folks going further than ever into neighborhoods to try to clear sidewalks, but we can't do it all. We need the residents to kick in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dakin. And if I could just elaborate on something that Dr. Dakin said, you know, there have been people that have been critical of some of the school closures that we have, in particular the one last Friday when it was canceled for safety reasons. But safety of the kids is priority number one, and Dr. Dakin has made that clear throughout his tenure as superintendent. And certainly it is the goal of our entire emergency management team that you see here standing behind me today. So we do, like other cities, ask for the public's help. In fact, you know, other cities are out in full force and have been out in full force enforcing their snow removal ordinances, and that is something that I will be working with my colleagues on the City Council going forward to create an ordinance that really, you know, gives the city the ability to go out and make sure that people do take ownership for their own property.